Avantis includes an extensive scene system. This allows you to quickly recall save settings on the console. At its most basic, you can use the scene system to recall everything all at once, or do more nuanced recalls using the filter system. In this very basic example, I have a few drum channels, a couple of guitar channels, and some vocal channels. I'm going to save a starting scene for my show. To do this, I'm going to touch the Scenes button on either screen. Here we can see any previously stored scenes and scenes that are available to use. I'm going to select an unused scene and press Store. This has now saved the current state of the console to that scene. I can name the scene by touching the name field and similarly give the scene a description. I'm going to call this scene Start. We're now going to make some changes to the setup. Let's say my headline band has just finished sound checking. So I'm going to save the current state of the console as another scene, just like I did with my start scene. The next band are about to take to the stage to sound check. They're sharing a drum kit with the headline band. I'm going to use their drum settings as a starting place. I don't want to recall my flat scene on those channels. There are a couple of ways to achieve this, but I'm going to choose to use the global saves in this instance. From the bank view page, we can press and hold the Safes button located on the left-hand side of the console. On the screen, we can now individually save either entire channels or even just an individual component of a channel, such as a PQ. In this example, I'm going to save the drum channels. You'll see the indication turns from off to on. You can also adjust this filter in the Scenes page under Global Safes at the top, by digging down into each individual parameter, or by using the button at the top of the column or start of the row to save or unsave everything in that field. Once you're done editing the filter, press Apply at the top. This now prevents these channels from being changed by a scene recall. Recalling the flat scene will now put the other channels back to the default setting, whilst leaving the drum channels unchanged. Now that the recall is complete, we can reset the global saves by following the procedure in reverse. The other thing you may wish to do is use a recall filter. Let's say we want to use this as our starting point for all the bands. And we would like to quickly recall all of the drum settings, but only the drum settings using a scene. We can copy the scene by touching the scene with those drum settings in, then touching Copy, and then touching an unused scene, finally touching Paste. We can now touch Recall Filter to enter the filter page. We only want to recall the drum channels, so a good place to start is the Block All button at the top left of the screen. We can then work through the filter to unblock only the channels we want to recall. Recalling this scene will now only affect these channels. Whilst the global filter acts on all of the scenes, the recall filter is per scene, so you can build as many of these as you like.